Hey y'all, welcome back. Well, y'all should be welcoming me back because I know it's been a minute. It's been a good minute. I have recorded a video like last month, but I just never posted it because I never edited it. And I did not edit it because I got lazy and didn't feel like it. But I do at this point want to record more often and show everything that I have going on in my smaller garden. The reason why I just want to share this with you, so I had not been recording as frequently as I had last year because obviously number one, I moved, and number two is because I felt I didn't have anything to show. It's not as big and as, I won't even say glam, but not as big or glamorous or like the other house. And I was telling my husband, he asked me, how come you don't record? Or we were talking about recording a few days ago. I said, well, I ain't have nothing to show. And he says, Tony, you have plenty to show. So I am going to show what I do have. You know why? Because there are people out there who still have smaller gardens. So now I do want to connect with those with smaller gardens as well, because that's what I have now. I am going to try my best not to make it bigger than what I already have it, but I know that's capped. Like, I know I have at least 2 more raised beds that I want to have, and I'll show you exactly what kind of raised beds. I have 2 like literal raised beds, like off the ground, about hip height, and that makes it so much easier. One was purchased and one was made using fencing, and I'll show you that. Right here, I got this. I have 2 of these whiskey barrels, and they were $5 from a Tractor Supply. Oh, my bad. All right, I got a cameraman for this video. So over here, I planted 3 okra. I think only one of them survived. I had to replant some, but this one is a Burmese okra, and these 2, I forget which okras they are, but this is a Burmese okra. And I have 3 more okra plants right here. So let me tell you the story about these tomatillos. This initially was one tomatillo plant that was in there. The plant grew like really big, large, a whole bunch of flowers, but I realized I wasn't getting any tomatillos, and I bought it, the one plant, as a start. Went online, tried to Google how come my tomatillos aren't getting tomatillos, just a bunch of pretty yellow flowers. I did not know you needed 2. I didn't even Google it. I don't know if I Googled it and or seen it on YouTube. And I think it was Jess from Roots and Refuge. She also said that a while ago. She never knew. So what I did was then I went on Google and saw that I could propagate them. So what I did was take 2 cuttings. I took this bigger one, I left the leaves and flowers on, and the smaller one, I just had the stem only. I had them in like little test tube plant propagation things, set them on the kitchen sill until they had roots. They had roots, I put them back in the ground. And they were like maybe this tall, but they're growing. I just don't know if they made it. Some mornings when I'm not at work, when I don't have to go to work, I'll come out and like mate the flowers, but this one has flowers and this one doesn't. I don't know. It's a science project, so we'll see. Back here is a tomato that I did the same thing. I just was pruning a tomato and let this get some roots and put it in ground. Here's a calendula that I took from my Green Stalk, put it in ground. Another one. This is a eucalyptus that I bought as a start. It was maybe about 3 to 4 inches tall when I bought it at a plant sale earlier in the spring. It's doing fine and it's growing. It was in a smaller container. Now it's in this whiskey barrel. This echinacea, these came from Lowe's, the clearance section. This, I forget what this is. This came from the clearance section, but I moved it from a raised bed in the corner to in here because rabbits have been eating the flowers off. And this is a calendula I also moved from my green stalk. Here is peppermint and spearmint that I just pulled from my green stalk and put it in there. And here is my flower garden. So in my flower garden, I also had transplanted some calendula. These, I forget what these are called. This flower is the same as in there, but the rabbits hadn't eaten this one. I have some zinnias that I had gotten from a lady who was selling some plants. It was like I don't know if it's a mile, it was like several miles of a yard sale. And one lady had plants. It was on Father's Day. And it was along 301 here in North Carolina. And so I had gotten some plants, zinnias. A lot of them had some rust or whatever down here, but I cut that off and the plants are growing just fine. And it's attracting some bees and other pollinators. And here also is marigold that's coming back. And right here, for the first time ever, I have toothache plant. And I know that because that's what it says on this paper. So this is toothache plant and it's growing in. The first time ever I tried to grow it inside. It never worked. I just threw them all in here. Also mixed in, I have clip dagger, some daisies, shell leaf, penstemma, I can't pronounce it, and some chamomile that I just sprinkled along in here. So I don't know where they are. We'll see what it is when they grow. This raised bed, I started building it, but my husband thankfully took over because none of the lines were straight because I can't really see or cut straight lines. And these are all like dog ear fence pickets. From this, all of this, the legs and everything. Underneath it, I'll have to still reinforce it with some more wood underneath, but we have cardboard, some wood, and burlap sacks from the local coffee shop underneath. So it did fall through and break because we had a lot of rain and I just didn't have enough piece of wood underneath, but we fixed it. And I think I have a picture of it, but whatever. So these are clearance plants. These are Shasta daisies that are kind of past its prime. This is, I forget what this is. I forgot. I think it's the same thing. And over there was an echinacea plant. And maybe it'll come back next year. Here's another transplanted calendula from my green stalk planter. This in here, I don't know what's growing because it was composted and it's something that's growing. I think it's probably a beet. I don't know, but I'm gonna let it do its thing. And then we have beans, squash, and more beans. Here is radish that I'm letting go to seed, flower, and seed. And the pods, I think are the pods for the seeds. I don't know. I think I saw somebody eat these before, the pods from the radish. But here's the little pods for the radish. And I think I saw somebody online eat them, or was it the flower? We'll see. Then I have some basil growing, lemongrass, and tulsi or holy basil. This is a paste tomato. This is either San Marzano or Aroma tomato in here. I made this trellis out of bamboo sticks and it's pretty sturdy. This particular spot doesn't get as much sun, and the only sun this area gets, because this is the only place in my yard without a bunch of trees, it gets a lot of afternoon sun from I think 12 until now. So this is a little delayed, but it's still growing and that's fine. We're not going to worry about that because I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But I know my Egyptian onions are struggling over there, but we'll get to that in a minute. Here's a blueberry bush. They were way small, but they're trying to grow. I'll get some soil for that empty, the other empty whiskey barrel, and probably grow these in that. This I got from clearance from Tractor Supply, and I think I got it for $75. And this is going to be like a straight up herb garden. So in here right now I have some sage that something ate. Like, I don't know what happened. Who would do this or what? But this is sage. This was a transplant. This is sage that I did from seed. We have thyme, oregano, chives. In the middle growing here will be nasturtiums. And then I have some radish over there. And these are going to be bunching onions up and through here. And rosemary in the corner. I don't know what's going on, but those rosemary was transplanted from a green stalk. That was transplanted from a green. Pretty much everything in here was transplanted from one of my green stalks. Here's some chamomile. And it's doing nice. I have to obviously harvest it. We have some lettuce that's growing back after I cut it down. This is little gem lettuce. I cut it all the way back and the leaves are growing back nice. Yeah, this is all chamomile. This is pretty much empty because I took everything out to prepare for the fall. Nasturtium. So what I understand about nasturtium is they also like, it's like a trap crop for the white flies and cabbage moth. So when I start growing my cabbage, hopefully the nasturtium will say, hey, come eat me. So I have nasturtium here, some in that pot, and I think some over there, and I'm growing some more in here. And just some random flowers in the bottom, more nasturtium and some parsley. This so far is my favorite green stalk. I started cleaning things out. I'm intentionally letting this go to seed so I can have my own green bean seeds for next year. Here's one nasturtium that's flowered right here. This is jalapenos. You want to zoom in, we can see the jalapenos that are coming in. I don't know when to pick them. I think they get a little bit longer, but we still got a lot of jalapeno flowers coming. Here's some beets right here, some cayenne, and as you can see, I don't know if you can, but we got a whole bunch of cayenne that's ripe and some that's about to be ripe down here. We have some lemon drop tomatoes. These are good. I don't even bring them inside. I just stay outside and eat them. They're good. And I like a tart tomato because I like sour candy. So this is good. Then I have more paste tomatoes down here. This is a Roma tomato. So these are indeterminate, so they're going to give me all, they're not going to grow any much taller, and they're going to give me everything pretty much at once, and then that's it. The lemon drop is indeterminate. I don't know where it ends, but it's going to keep growing and growing and growing. That's fine. It can take over this whole top shelf. I have some basil in here and some Florida conch beans. I've never had these before, but I got them in a subscription box, my Dig subscription box. And some basil in the bottom. And I have some lemon basil. This will taste good in some lemonade or a sweet tea. Up here, I have some French fillet green beans, and they're a bush bean. So they're gonna give me everything at once. And then once I harvest everything, it's done and over with. And that's fine, because I want to clear this all out and make space. I could probably get some more potting soil just to fill up top, replenish the soil a little bit. But these will be taken out probably tomorrow or the next couple of days. This tomato is another, what kind of tomato is this? I forget, but looking at the flowers, clearly it's going to be a small cherry tomato type. So it's indeterminate, so it's going to take over a lot of this, and that's fine. Indeterminate, for those who don't know, means it has the capacity to keep growing and growing. This I got from my friend Queenie. She's on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, also Garden of Queenie. And this is 1500-year-old pole beans. And I planted this on June 21st. So pole beans, or anything that says pole, means it climbs. So this is climbing up, and I might need to get another one of these, or another couple of these bamboo sticks. Maybe a little taller, but it's vining. I'm just curious to see what these beans are going to look like. I only planted 2, and I have, like, she sent me 5 in the mail. So I want to make sure they germinated and did well, and they're doing just fine. What else is in here? We have peppers that I'm still waiting. I think this is, I don't know which this one is, but I'm sure it's going to be like a bell pepper based off the leaves, I believe. This pepper I walked past and I broke it, but it's doing fine. This is an Anaheim pepper. I still don't know which this one is, but this one is an Anaheim pepper. And I see we have one little flower. We may get something off of this by September. We have some parsley growing and some more cayenne here. And that's it for that side. And lastly, we have chamomile and a bunch of strawberry. So what I have been doing is taking the runners and just replanting them. So runners, let's see if I can find one. So these are runners for strawberry. These long things. And if you look right here, these can be like considered the roots. So what I usually do to make my own strawberry plants or new strawberry plants is I take this, find an empty pocket, which I can't find one right now, and just stick it in. This I did, and they don't take long to root. This I did a few days ago. So I see the roots have taken a little bit, but it's still not all the way in the soil. But once they're good to go, I'll cut like this one. Oops, not quite yet. When they're good and firm and like really taken, I'll cut the runner from the mother plant, because that one, the roots have already taken and it can be its own plant. I don't know or don't recall if parsley comes back or not, but I think I'm going to take all the parsley and other things out of this and just make this an entire strawberry planter for next season. What I do with the parsley is obviously I cook it. I make a green seasoning or a green spice to cook with. Also, I have juiced it or mixed it in a blender or made a tea out of the fresh parsley. I mean, it cuts and comes again. Also, when it goes to flower, I think it attracts like caterpillars to turn into butterflies. So they're pretty beneficial for that. But this is mostly strawberries here. And on the bottom, I do have lavender. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to take the lavender out and put it like in a raised bed or leave it here and make this 100% a strawberry planter. I don't know. I think that is it. This is the same planter where I got the rosemary and everything from. So that is it for now in my small garden. As soon as we put the camera down, I'm going to go ahead and harvest this tomato, but I really enjoy what I have here. I don't plan on making this as big as the other one, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying eating the produce that I get from here. I do know next year these are going to be packed slam full. I know how the summer is going to work, where the sun sits. Maybe I'll save a couple of bucks and get like one of those bigger branches cut down so we have a little bit more sunlight. I'm learning like these plants right here may not be, they like sun, but I think morning sun will be better, and that's fine. I want to incorporate a lot more perennials here, especially in that garden down below. But that's it. Thank you all for watching. Oh, I want to shout out all about the banks. That's a couple that does RVing, and I met them a few days ago. My parents happen to RV also, and they happen to be in the same I guess RV park what my parents were, and I met them. They have a channel. I checked it out. I do like watching RV TikToks and stuff, so it was really cool to meet a couple in person that are RVing. They just travel a lot. So if you're watching, what's up? All About the Banks. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it, and have a good one. See you next video. Bye bye.